Joseph, boxing has taken you all around the world. Now you find yourself first in Ireland and now Morecambe. What's it like? What are the people like too?
Yeah, boxing's taking me around the world, and the first time. This is my first time in Ireland. Coming up to obviously meet Andy first, and then to start our training camp for the fight that we locked in May 1, and then after 2 weeks in Ireland, coming here and basing myself here in Morecambe, which I've never been to before as well. So boxing's taking me around the world, and it's been a great experience so far. Firstly, to get to know Andy, to start training with him, to prepare for May 1, but then also the support that we're getting from the people in Ireland and here in the UK has been amazing. There's a lot of support here for us.
There was a quote that came out earlier about Andy, there's a difference between pad holders and there's a difference between people who can coach. And I liked him straight away when I heard that. Now that you had the time to experience what he means, what does he mean by that?
Yeah, that's what Tyson told me. Tyson said to me that there's a difference between a pad holder and a teacher. And he really rated Andy Lee as one of those people in boxing that can teach as a coach. And I think just it's not so much holding the pads, it's about teaching and showing me, sometimes as a fighter, when you have all this experience and you've been around the world and you fight all these fighters, you tend to forget the basics and you tend to forget the things that are really important. And for us, it was just stripping everything down again and working on the basics, the basics that about balance, stance, footwork. And he's taught me a lot since I've started working with him, and I feel like there's a big change. And hopefully, every time I say there's a fight, hopefully I can show it in the fight. It's great to do it in the gym and inspiring and in training, but the ultimate goal is to make it happen and execute on fight night.
Well, it was a big decision to make the change. It was a very hard move. You've made the change. You wanted change. We need to see change. How much change do we see against Derek Chisora?
I feel like we didn't have the longest time to train with each other. We were given like 6 or 7 weeks, so he doesn't really want to change the whole script. He wants to adjust a few things and just give me a few things that he thinks will complement what I have, but also just to take away from some of the things I wasn't doing good. An example would be when I was in a fight. There's a lot of times where I would have lapse of concentration. I'll lose focus within the 3 minutes, and the things that we're working on is just footwork. Shoulder, punching with your chin tucked in your shoulder, all these things that I might have learned in the beginning, just that sort of went away. So it's just reassuring to me that, everything I have is good, but I need to work on this and that to be better.
It sounds to me like you're enthused again, that you're learning. And for a guy that's already held the WBO World Heavyweight Championship and climbed to that degree, what's it like to feel fresh again?
I feel like I'm at the beginning of my career where, I'm learning. Like, this is a new teacher, and I feel like I've graduated. I feel like even though everything that we've achieved in boxing, I feel like I've just graduated from primary school and I'm going to college again. I'm learning. That's what. It's so exciting. Like to have all the experience that I've had, and then to have this feeling where, oh man, there's still a lot to learn. And I'm showing glimpses of it and training. Things. It does take time, but I'm showing little things here and there that he's showing me, and that excites me. That makes me feel like, damn, I know there's a lot more learning to do, but we just got to be patient and take it in slowly.
Okay, new training routines. What have you liked? Because I'm sure there's a few things that we don't like, but let's cover off what you like first.
What I like the environment. Like the example, like the team in New Zealand, the CKB team. How there's a lot of people that train and have the same goals. And in Vegas, I did have a team, but I was training a lot by myself and pushing myself. Whereas here, I train, obviously I was training with Tyson, there's Isaac Lowe, Jason Quickly, there's all these guys in the gym with the same goal of being the best in the world. And then when we look over, we see each other, we push each other, we just uplift each other. And that's what I really like about here. Also being isolated away from Vegas and from home and from family and friends. I love the feeling of being away. All I do is train, eat, and sleep. And I've missed that. In Vegas, I've made a lot of friends, and I can go here to the shop and buy this, or go here, I got a car, I got friends everywhere. But I feel like it's great to be here where I could just focus purely on training again.
Yeah, like I'm going to ask you, what don't you like? And I'm hoping the pain that gets thrown at you, all the hard work, because, man, I know you got to get broken down to rebuild stronger. What haven't you liked, Joseph Parker?
The only thing I haven't liked it's not so much anything to do with camp or training. Like everything I've enjoyed, and even the hard. Like we ran up the mountain the other day, like 4.7 miles or 5 miles, whatever it was, and I was like, my lungs were burning, my legs were sore. But I love all the pain. I love the schedule. I love the program. I love everything. The only thing I don't like is just missing the family. But that comes with what we do. We have to make sacrifices to give them a better future. And my family is very supportive and they understand, and I miss them, but I am so excited to be here.
We're all excited too. This is take 2 against Chisora. I mean, the first time round you're in camp with KB, second time in camp you're with Andy Lee. What's been the differences between the two training and the strategies going in? Because I'm interested to know.
I mean, with the last camp, the strategy going into the fight was to obviously box and move and, don't get caught, because he is a dangerous guy. When he corners you, gets you on the ropes. It's a similar strategy here, but I feel like I'm more energized. I got better footwork, better movement. I'm more aware, I'm more sharp. And like I said, I've been showing it in sparring, and hopefully I can, take it into the fight, because it looks good in sparring. It has to look good in the fight.
Tyson Fury, you're good friends, but your relationship has been different this time around. How does Tyson Fury make Joseph Parker better?
Just being around and seeing the way that he trains, the positive energy that he gives out in training. An example would be when we were running up the mountain, he was pushing me and running me in the front, and it was about a group of 10 or 15 of us. And another sparring partner was going to give up, and he ran back and pushed him along and said, "You are not going to stop on this mountain." And so just the energy, just the energy of positive and pushing you on. But then also, I thought that I trained like a beast. I thought that I trained hard. And then I saw him train. I was like, I have to lift my game. He is I'll tell you, he's the hardest like, he doesn't do like special things, like, I don't know, he doesn't do crazy training. He does the basics, but he does it very well. And he pushes himself. And so just to see that, that's another thing of excitement, just seeing that. It's helping me to, there's a lot more to learn and work on.
You mentioned excitement. Both men well. Anthony Joshua, you fought against, and Tyson Fury, well. You're talking about his work ethic. Your thoughts on that matchup that we finally see this year?
If it does happen, when it does happen, my thoughts will be, I love both fighters. They're great champions. I back Tyson Fury to get the stoppage in the first half of the fight.
Wow.
It's a big call, and no disrespect to anyone, but I just, I don't know. That's how I feel.
Joe, about sacrifice, and going over there is an example of that as well. You leave your 3 beautiful daughters here. Your parents don't get to watch you fight for the first time ever. That's another thing. But why bother, man? I mean, you've done it all before. You've been champ. Why care?
I have goals. I mean, it's great. Listen, I've become champion of the world. I've looked after my family. I've looked after my wife, my kids. They have a good life, and we're very blessed. But I have goals. I want to be 2-time world champion. I want to give it everything I have for the next 4 years. And as long as I give it the best effort I have, and again, the learning in this camp, it's great, because when I look back at other camps, I overtrained. I smashed my body in training, and I left everything, like most of it, in the gym and on the road. Now I'm finding good balance, and the thing that I'm pushing for is because now I'm, all these things are making me like happy as a fighter, and then there's a lot of room for improvement.
That excites me. Do you like Dereck? Because there's a lot of stuff happening on social media back and forth, and some of the people in your camp that are saying, feed the donkey, man. Do you like Derek Chisora?
I like Dereck. Him and I get along well, but now, it's good to be nice. It's good to be friendly, but when we get in the ring, I have to switch on that. I want to smash you. I want to smash you. He wants to smash me. I want to smash him. And I have been, known as a nice guy, but I have to get that nice guy away from this fight and future fights.
Well, he's also got a new trainer, Buddy McGirt, and he reckons you won't handle the heat. What do you say about that, man?
I've seen Buddy. I know how Buddy trains. I've seen Dereck in his training and in his recent fights. He's done well, but I think I'm going to be too much for him in terms of speed, movement, picking my shots, taking it to him when he's tired, fighting fire with fire. I think we have a good game plan. And they're not going to, if they think that, the last fight, that's the same fight, it's a different story altogether.
Yeah, we know pressure makes diamonds, and both fighters, yourself and Dereck, are at that stage now. You need to win, and the pressure is on. Are you feeling that pressure at all? How are you feeling going into this fight?
Yeah, I know there's pressure. I mean, if I don't win this fight, there's a lot of questions I have to ask myself. And do I still want to box? And do I still have the ability to be champion of the world? There is going to be pressure, but I love pressure. You invite pressure in, and you accept it, you embrace it, and you make the most of it.
Absolutely love that. How much have you improved, man? Because we know you're over there. You're excited. You're talking about the new training systems underneath Andy. But how much have you improved?
I feel like I've made some great progress and improvements. Improving in my skills, what I do in the ring, how I move, speed, getting back to combinations again. But when you're with a new trainer, things take time, and I guess it's going to show. It's going to show little snippets of what we're working on. But ultimately, I want to spend more time with Andy to keep working on on more things, more and more things.
You mentioned Andy. How much more can you improve underneath them? When you like someone, when their chemistry is right, the glove fits. How much more can you improve under him? And is he the guy?
I feel like there's a lot of improvement that he can add to my style and my boxing career. I think he's the guy. Like, we've had a great bond from the beginning, and he's he's like a person that's fun to be around. But when you're in the gym, he switches. He doesn't take bullcrap. You know what I mean? And that's what we need. We need someone who, even though you can be friendly outside the gym and you can be friendly when you're at home, whatever, but when you're in the gym and you're working, he doesn't take bullcrap.
You've already said your goal is to be a two-time world champion, but what's your why?
My why? Legacy. I wanna go. I wanna have a legacy of not. And it's not so much for other people. It's just myself. Just ticking off that goal of being two-time world champion. I've done it before. I want to prove to myself that I can do it again, and I just want to have that solid legacy in place.
Yeah, and you got a lot of fans around the world globally, and obviously they're in the UK as well. Just one message for them, because there's a lot of support straight down the camera to them from Joseph Parker.
Thank you all for the great support. May 1's going to be a great fight. Not going to say I'm going to go looking for a knockout, because it never comes when you look for it. I'm going to go out there and have fun, do my thing, get the win, and move on to the next fight.